What's the Play? What's the Play 612? Video title, Coach Prime's Memorial Day. Flip, how Colorado just changed everything on the recruiting trail. Yes, narrated documentary script, Quine Est. Written for Claudius, Hammond, Indiana. It's Memorial Day. CBS Sports is live. 247 Sports has the stream running, and Jaiden Kelly-Murray, one of the most electric wide receivers in the 2027 class, is standing at a table about to make the biggest decision of his life. He reaches down. He picks up the Virginia Tech hat. The room holds its breath. Hokies fans are losing their minds online. And then he puts it back down. He reaches for the other hat. He puts on the Colorado buffs. That is the moment we're talking about today. That fake out. That commitment. That signal. Because Jaiden Kelly-Murray didn't just pick a school, he sent a message to the entire college football world. Coach Prime is building something real in Boulder. And the doubters, they need to sit down. Welcome to What's the Play. Let's get into it. Nubba, but before we get to the celebration, we have to be honest about where Colorado was. Because it was bad. 3 wins, 9 losses. A program that came into 2025 riding the wave of the most talked-about coaching hire in college football history, and then got absolutely humbled by the reality of Power 4 competition. The recruiting class that year ranked 67th nationally, not 67th in the Big 12, 67th in the country. For a program that was supposed to be flipping the script on college football, that number stung. Coordinators left, assistants moved on. And the critics, the people who never believed in Coach Prime from day one, they came out in force. It was a publicity stunt. He can't recruit out there. Colorado's too far, too cold, too far from the talent hubs. And honestly, if you were just looking at the numbers on the surface, you could understand why people felt that way. 3-9 is 3-9. You can't spin it. You can't dress it up. But here's what the doubt merchants missed. They were watching the scoreboard. Coach Prime was watching the foundation. And the foundation was being rebuilt. The first domino was Julian Lewis. The 5-star quarterback, one of the most coveted signal callers in recent memory. He stayed. He committed to this program, and he didn't flinch. When a quarterback of that caliber keeps his word after a 3-9 season, it tells every wide receiver, every pass catcher, every offensive weapon in the country, one thing: the offense is going to be something special. And then Colorado made a move that changed everything on the offensive side of the ball. They hired Brennan Marion as offensive coordinator. If you don't know Brennan Marion, get familiar. Former head coach at Sacramento State. The man runs what he calls the go-go offense, and that name is not for show. We're talking an explosive spread system, one-on-one matchups on the outside, a vertical passing game that stretches the field, and a 2-back downhill run game that keeps defenses honest. It is a wide receiver's dream. And Colorado locked this staff in with a $54 million commitment. They are not playing around. This isn't a rebuild on a shoestring budget. This is a program saying, we are going all in, and we have the receipts to prove it. Then they did something else. They got aggressive on the trail. They brought in Rashad Rich as the new director of recruiting. And Rich came in with a simple philosophy: go everywhere, offer everyone, and close hard. No regional bias, no comfort zone. Just relentless pursuit of the best players in America, regardless of where they call home. And that relentless pursuit, that's exactly what brought Jaiden Kelly-Murray to Boulder. Dushers, let's talk about this young man, 5'10", 170 pounds, out of Oceanside Collegiate Academy in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And as a junior in 2025, 72 receptions, 1,072 yards, 16 touchdowns. That is a grown man's stat line. That is a player who can win at the highest level. Now, Kelly-Murray was originally committed to South Carolina. Home state, home crowd, familiar territory. It made sense on paper. But in April of 2026, he opened things back up. He decommitted. And the Final Four came down to Colorado, Illinois, Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest. Here's where the Colorado staff went to work. At a camp just weeks before the announcement, Colorado wide receiver Andre Adams, a current player, called Kelly-Murray out by name. In front of everybody, said, "We want you." That kind of personal recruitment, That player-to-player connection, that is what today's recruits respond to. It wasn't just coaches talking. It was a teammate saying, "Come be part of this." And then Coach Prime himself got on the phone. Kelly-Murray said it himself. "I had a conversation with Coach Prime. He's a Hall of Famer. Just me going out as a true freshman under a Hall of Famer means a lot to me." Think about what that means. You're 17, 18 years old. You're picking up the phone and Coach Prime, the Deion Sanders, is on the other end talking directly to you about your future. That's not a form letter. That's not a recruiting pitch from some graduate assistant. That's Prime Time telling you he wants you in his building. And Kelly-Murray confirmed it publicly. "Nobody has been recruiting me like Colorado the last few weeks. They have really picked it up since I opened things back up." That's the staff. That's Marion's offense. That's the Julian Lewis connection. Everything converging at once. And then came Memorial Day. Live on CBS Sports. Live on 247 Sports YouTube. The fake out with the Virginia Tech hat. The room going silent. And then the Colorado Buffs hat going on. His quote after, "I ain't hard to find because it was perfect timing." That's not just a commitment line, that's a double reference. That's Coach Prime's motto, and it's a nod to Shedeur Sanders' rap track Perfect Timing. He did his homework, he knows the culture. He wasn't just committing to a school, he was committing to a movement. And Jaiden Kelly-Murray, for the record, is the first wide receiver commit for Brennan Marion's go-go offense at Colorado. He's not just a recruit, he's the blueprint. Sucker da bam. But Kelly-Murray wasn't alone. Over Memorial Day weekend, Colorado pulled in 6 commits in 6 days. 6 in 6 days. Jenkins, LeMarcus Jones, Kelly-Murray. 3 more. And here's the number that tells you everything you need to know about what Coach Prime is building. Colorado has 9 commits from 9 different states. 9 different states. They are the only program in America running a national recruiting footprint like that right now. Not Alabama, not Georgia, not Ohio State, Colorado, in Boulder. Going everywhere. That has lifted Colorado's 2027 class to number 2 in the Big 12, behind only Texas Tech. Let that sink in. A year ago, they were 67th in the country. Right now, 2nd in one of the most competitive conferences in college football. This is not a coincidence. This is a system working. Brennan Marion's go-go offense is a receiver pipeline. Julian Lewis is the engine that makes it all go. And now Kelly-Murray is the first piece of what promises to be a dangerous, dynamic wide receiver room. When you can tell a recruit you're going to run routes for Julian Lewis in a spread offense designed to create one-on-one matchups, that is a sales pitch that sells itself. And it doesn't stop there. Colorado is reportedly in on Omari Sanders, a linebacker committed to Vanderbilt. Another potential flip. Another signal that this staff is not sitting back and waiting for recruits to come to them. They're going